So of course there's been a ton of different discussions lately about whether the Sizzle Season 2024 will be the final update for the game. And there's been a lot of evidence for and against this happening. But today, an announcement from Nintendo actually changes things quite significantly due to how they've worded a certain tweet. Now, as you can see, today Nintendo has shared a look at Lemuria Hub over on their official accounts. I've seen this tweeted on their Japanese account, on the North American account, and also Nintendo of Europe as well. And one thing all three of these tweets share in common is that they do not mention this being the last stage anywhere. Now, call it copium or whatever you want to say, but this is incredibly interesting. The main reason being that last season, when announcing updates, Nintendo specifically mentioned that Bone Rattle Arena would be the final map for Salmon Run. I've seen a lot of people saying that perhaps Nintendo didn't want to come out and say this is the final stage in order to disappoint them, but that certainly did not stop them with Bone Rattle Arena. And it's not like they received significant backlash from that or anything which would have prevented them from being clear about this. Therefore, it definitely makes it seem like they might have more stages planned for Splatoon 3. Now, I definitely don't want to get anyone's hopes up because it's entirely possible they might not, but the door is certainly open now when before we certainly considered that it might be closed. I think a lot of us expected they might still do something like third kits or just some new weapons in general, but no new stages. But here we are. It seemed very likely that we actually could see more after this, given all of them have basically shared the same information and it doesn't say anything about the end. It's just so intriguing to me that nowhere in the marketing for this season do they say it's the final one or that it's the end of certain content. It certainly does seem like that based on what we've seen internally within Splatoon 3 with data mines and such, and the fact that last season we got the final Salmon Run map, but when it comes to marketing for this season, they haven't mentioned it being the end at all. They did even tease maps that aren't in the game in Lemuria Hub too. There are posters for Kelp Dome and also Schellendorf Institute as well. Now, whilst I'm not entirely confident that these would actually come to the game, and they more likely, in my opinion, could just be decorations to reference past Splatoon games, it's worth noting that they are there, so the potential of them returning does exist in my opinion, especially with Nintendo not saying this is the end. My biggest advice to everyone would be don't get your hopes up too high that they will continue adding new maps and content to the game, but also I don't think we should completely write off the idea of them not doing anything at all. If they wanted things to end here, I feel like they would have been at least a little bit more clearer about it, just like they were last season with the final Salmon Run map. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you make it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more content.